Good morning. Happy Monday. We are almost at the beginning of the Gregorian calendar new year. A couple of more days, we'll be in the new year. And so I think this is a really significant time. For many of us, we are entering into this very intense intention around how we want to bring in the new year. I want to tap into the energy for the day just to take a look and see what the encouragement is from Spirit. Today I felt a little bit drawn to my chakra energies decks. So I'm doing my chakra oracle deck and my chakra tarot deck to pull out those energies. And so welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. We are taking a look again at the energy of the day. And so I want to jump right in. Just for the sake of time, it has been my desire to shorten the length of these. And so I won't delay the time. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led, okay? All right, enjoy. What is the encouragement for the day, Spirit? All right, lots of solar plexus energy coming out here. And then crown chakra energy. And so we have warrior empowerment. And then we have divine flow, confidence. And lastly, we have raven goddess coming in with magic, okay? It feels a lot like being guided to reach. Let me see. Being guided to reach is what I'm hearing. It almost feels like, you know, being at the end of a finish line and just stretching out to cross the line or to finish some aspect of something, but needing to exert that last little bit of energy to accomplish the task. So this empowerment card is really what's standing out for me. And this is kind of understanding too that, and looking back to realize that it hasn't been easy. All of the work that you've put in, all of the trials and the battles that you've had to fight along the way, like it hasn't been easy. That's why this warrior card is coming in. It's understanding that you're in a war. You know, there's been a war type of journey here along the way. And this is calling on the inner strength and stamina as the place that we have in the world is being established, right? It's fighting for what you believe is yours. And I don't mean that in the sense of fist fighting, but it's standing in your expectation of what you believe is rightfully yours. And this is about the energy. When we talk about the solar plexus, that's the third chakra up. This is our ego self, our sense of I am. This is our belief in ourselves. This is the stamina, the action, the inner strength. And this is understanding who we are and knowing how we've been called to serve. And with that being known, it's establishing our place, within this particular life, in this journey that we're on right now. But it almost is a sense of being almost there. That's what I'm feeling, but having to reach just a little bit more. Spirit is saying a little bit further. Don't give up. Like, you've come so far. You've won so many battles along the way. The finish line is just beyond, just over yonder, just beyond that, that last little thing that needs to be taken care of. And so this is needing to really kind of take the reins again. Maybe there's the sense that we've gotten a little bit tired, a little bit weary, maybe just a little bit worried, but Spirit is saying that it's time to dredge up that last little bit of, power that's within, just to finish it out, to secure what this has been all about all along. During the time of being a little bit worried or tired, sometimes it's easy to forget, just how powerful we are and how much we've endured this far. Sometimes that becomes a little bit heavier than the fact that we are empowered to do this, or we can finish this out. Sometimes we lose sight of that during the actual battle itself. But, this is almost like reaching up and, claiming, stretching up, reaching up to claim what's yours. And it could include, having to fight to do that. But again, it's not like a fist fight. This is really about looking at ourselves as divine beings. And even when it comes to battling and having to enter into these energies of war, right? It's choosing those battles wisely along the way. It's even using our power, our strength, our gifts wisely, in order to secure what it is that we have been given to do. And along the way, we're being called to really release any doubt that's coming up right now, so that we can step back into that stream of flow, that confidence that we had, possibly in the beginning. Everything always starts out good. In the beginning, it's like, we're going to do this. There's nothing that's going to stop me from this. But after 5 or 6, 7 different battles along the way, sometimes we tend to get just a little bit, we can get a little weary, a little tired, a little discouraged even sometimes. It's like, okay, when is this going to happen? When will I get there? But this is also having confidence of what it is that you're waiting and believing for, releasing anything that would say otherwise. And again, this is the solar plexus energy. This has a lot to do with our belief in self, the confidence that we can see ourselves in this particular situation, in this life, in this role, this position, and releasing anything that says otherwise. If it's fear that's arising in the moment, combating that with truth. If it's doubt or negative self-talk, it's finding ways to, release those things and pull back into that stream of flow that we were in at one point in time along this road. And so for someone, I do feel like there's a need to kind of like, and as I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of relay races. for long distance runners. It's really that last stretch that's usually the hardest, and that's usually either the make or break of the race. It's not even how you start. Many long distance runners start off really fast and they're sprinting and they're like 2, laps ahead of everybody else. But, as time wears down and they get just a little bit slower and slower, right? Depending on how you measure out your power during that race, depending on how you measure out your speed and, your energy, is going to determine what's left by the end of the race and whether or not you have that push to carry you through the finish line, right? It's very important. And so this almost feels like, being in that last stretch of the race and needing to pull something out to overcome. Someone may just simply be needing a little bit of encouragement right now to let you know to remember why you started. Remember what it felt like when you started and how much confidence and how much faith you had with what it is that you are doing. It might end up needing to be recentered and, maybe even exploring new things, just to get that excitement flowing again, or being recentered also. This is the card I'm looking at here. But there's some energy around, continuing confidently. Continuing confidently. For some of you, this could be around leadership of some kind. This could involve others, something that you're doing, but it has a lot to do with really going into spaces, I feel like, that are not popular, right? And allowing that within you to light up those spaces. That's where the magic is happening. I feel like this has a lot to do with possibly leading others and delving into spaces untapped. And there's some level of battle within self, of staying the course and seeing what the end is going to be. Whenever we start something, things are always really exciting, but as we continue on with that thing, the longer we continue on with that thing, that excitement may dwindle, and then we're left with just the reality of what it is. And speaking of that, it almost feels like being at the end of the year. It's almost like that energy. You know how by the end of the year, you're like, okay, so ready for something new. But in this case, yeah, we can definitely tap into new things. But there's something here that needs to be carried out. So let's see. There's something here that needs to be carried out. And there's a bit of needing to dig deep to reach that last little bit of strength to carry you over. This could be finishing out a cycle. It most definitely could. All right, so we have the Six of Swords, the High Priestess, the Star, and the Wheel of Fortune. Let me just show you my cards. So beautiful, and the colors are so vibrant. Six of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Star, and High Priestess. Okay. And so with the Six of Swords, I'm looking at definitely moving from one space that may have represented something very differently than where you are headed. Moving from a space that has been possibly difficult for whatever reason, right? And moving to something that's going to be a little bit, not only you, but there's a sense that there's being carried. The whole situation, it could be more than you. You could be carrying others, right? Like I said, this is possibly being involved with other people. There's something about being carried over from one situation to another. Now, the Six of Swords also is about realizing something. It's also about realizing something. And upon that realizing, there is a movement, right? This is a card of actually moving to something new, a new horizon. There's the sense of escaping something as well, or leaving something behind, but also carrying someone with you through this movement. It's about the journey. This card is really talking about a journey, not the destination. This is more about the journey here and the difficulty of possibly having to make transitions, or the difficulty of carrying through a decision that was made, a calculated decision. This could also talk about releasing some things too, to make the the load easier, or cut away some things that we've held on to. The Six of Swords could talk about moving away from those things and being able to escape so that we can make it to the other side where we're going. And I don't know if this has anything to do with family. It could. It could very well have something to do with family at this moment in time, and choosing to move away for whatever reason that's coming up here. With the thought of the future in mind of those that you carry. You're carrying a legacy or something important like that. This decision that you're making to move away with that in mind is what I'm hearing here. And now, when we look at the major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune is usually a card that depicts the fact that spirit could very well be involved here. The Wheel of Fortune. And it's the Wheel of Fortune usually talks about, things actually happening in your favor because of the support of the universe, of God, of your creator. And it could very well be fated for this to happen this way. This is very much about destiny. When we talk about the Wheel of Fortune, we're talking about possible cycles that are being broken right now, new cycles being created that will bring in, a sense of abundance, success, or fortune. Doesn't mean that it's always been that way, but that's what's coming out in this reading for right now. And it almost feels like needing to strive for that. Let me see. And this feels very much like a time where there's a need, as I'm seeing, kind of like she's summoning all the tools at her disposal, right? This is that empowerment that Spirit is guiding you to summon within yourself for this last, whatever this is. It's like a last stretch of the race. You've been given everything that's needed and some more. It's understanding that and utilizing that. It's interesting, though, that this is the planet aligned with the Wheel of Fortune is usually Venus. So whatever your placement is in your birth chart, this could actually talk about that area that Spirit is pointing to that could possibly help you to rise in this empowerment that's available for you. This is a very intense and powerful energy that is available to you. Spirit is guiding you to that, to use it. Yeah. And stay open, right? Again, don't let doubt or fear or discouragement creep in. There's the need to stay open. Yeah. And then we have the star. And the star feels a little bit more like being guided, not only being given, but it's also being able to use your wisdom, right? Because the wisdom that you have is according to like the lessons that you've learned to this point. And it's what did you learn, right? So far along the way, especially as it pertains to misfortune, or things mishaps that happen. What did you learn from those things? Because that's the most important lesson that we hold. It's those difficult lessons, right? That we learned around being able to surrender and submit to those things that we can't control, and being appreciative, even though things may not be or may have not turned out the way that we want it to, we can still be grateful and thankful for that. And so this is like being guided, not only being guided, but this is also a time pointing to this very healing, spiritual healing energy. Being connected, being guided back to a place of mastery within yourself. And again, it's like releasing things, but gracefully. Releasing things that you know are not aligned with where you're going. This is such a beautiful card. It almost gives me, I don't know why, Wizard of Oz, like the fairy godmother. It gives me that kind of energy, being guided for these things. This too is very Venusian energy, but it carries a little bit of a retrograde energy, kind of looking back, remembering the things that you have been through, the things about your process that's been good, that's worked. Instead of like standing in this energy of defensiveness, it's almost like allowing yourself to operate in offense. Like, what did work? Okay, let's go forward in that kind of energy. Remembering. There's something about remembering here. even as we remember those things that we're moving away from, and it feels like drama, you know, it feels like things that caused loss, you know, that we realize maybe this isn't so good. But those things that the star brings in a sense of redeeming those things, even through being able to forgive ourselves as well as others. There's lots of healing happening here. And it almost feels like, you know, not allowing yourself to be overcome by the past, but understand that it was a part of the process. It would be very sad to endure all that we've endured and be stuck at the very end of this, right before reaching the finish line, because there's this block of unforgiveness. You know, the green brings in this heart chakra energy. That's why it's Venusian energy. And so it's around healing. It's around releasing, letting go. And then when we're moving away, we're making sure that we're completely moving. We're not carrying any part of that with us. When we choose not to forgive, in fact, we are carrying it with us. But this star is talking about releasing. It also has an element of wish fulfillment too. Before entering in, right, there's this forgiveness, this healing that you're being guided towards. And then lastly, we have the High Priestess with all that beauty. Look at that, just lights up a room. And this is actually the foresight, you know, of the end result of what will become, right? This is that inner vision that's coming in here. So remember, look again, remember what it was that started you on this journey and all of the encouragement and excitement that was there in the beginning, and how the vision was so clear, right? The High Priestess is in everyone, right? And there's secrets that are held by her, secrets of feminine power, and secrets that are very useful when it comes to instinct, right? There's a sharpness and a protection that she holds, that she utilizes, that she's learned, right, through the process of life. These are tools that she's learned how to survive. Yeah. And how she chooses to share that is, you know, completely up to her. And so this is the vision that has yet to be realized. The seeking, right? The vision of what will be. This is the inner seeing. And also the inner tools to utilize along the journey of getting there. And so it's very practical, but yet very spiritual too, because it's Mercurian energy. So this is talking about our ability to communicate, to speak, to write, even consulting, you know, seeking, and the equippedness of like the Queen of Swords too, being able to make great decisions quickly, being sharp-minded. And so, but this is all as a result of the process. It's as a result of the process. And so overall, what I'm getting is you've come to a place where things seem like really stretched and really heavy. It's almost like that last stretch of the race. But the Two of Wands was peeking out here. I didn't see that. and it almost feels like, I feel like I may not have enough for this last little bit, right? But you do. You most definitely do. You have more than enough. And Spirit is saying, like, there's the need to look back. There's the need to release. There's the need to move forward, to let go of things. There's the need to seek within, to utilize the tools that you have. Like, literally, you cannot fail at this. You've come all this way. You've learned all these lessons. You've mastered so many parts of, the journey. And you've come to the finish line. All you have to do now is just stretch, reach, dig in, pull out that last little bit of energy to carry you over. And so the Two of Wands comes out because I feel like for some, there could be demands that are being requested, right, from the universe without an actual commitment to the manifesting of it, right? It's almost like faith without works is dead, or, belief without movement is not belief. And so there's something possibly that's needed, some commitment that Spirit has been calling for, and you could possibly know exactly what that is, right? This is completely between you and your higher self, you and your spirit team, you and your ancestors, you and Source. Like, this is between you and your spiritual journey. And so you know what that is. It's almost also about where we're pouring our energy. And if it's not towards the commitment, then where is that energy going? That could possibly be a part of the challenge here. Because if we're not committed to what it is that we are desiring or have desired, or we've allowed other things to come in and to distract us, or become just a waste of energy, right? Then that definitely could be the struggle here. There's something about utilizing time, energy, space wisely, or there's some higher level of commitment that is being requested that hasn't been fulfilled. And it could be like an unspoken agreement that you just know. You just know. Maybe you've been called to up your game when it comes to meditation, right? You've been being called to get up in the, wee hours of the morning to start your day. And you've just been kind of, making excuses or just not doing it. So there's some higher call or commitment that's coming in here as the challenge. What is that thing that you've been being called to commit to? The twos are all about choice. What choices are you making when it comes to your resources, your time, your energy, right? That could be one of the things that is making this last little bit really difficult. Are you thinking ahead? Are you planning when it comes to making good decisions? Are you even ready for this next step? That's the question. Spirit may think otherwise. Or maybe you realize, this is you realizing otherwise. But this is bringing these things up to actually be seen, right? Because when we know better, we can do better. When we know what the issue is that could be weighing us down or making things feel really heavy right now, then we have the opportunity to, resolve it or to make a different choice. The Six of Cups is coming through here. And then we're going to end it here with the Six of Cups. But I really do feel like when we talk about the sixes, we're looking at excuse me one second here. We're actually looking at the sixth chakra, which is referred to our pineal gland. It's a couple of inches back behind the forehead here, a couple of inches down right into the skull. It's called the third eye. That's the energy that the Six of Coins is bringing out. And it's about bringing in the reciprocation needed. I don't know if you're someone who has been putting out, right, and hasn't necessarily received what you thought you should be getting back. Well, this says that things will actually, once things are aligned, the way Spirit is guiding us to align, that's when the release will happen. That's when financial reciprocation will happen. That's when Pentacles also talk about our physical circumstance, the wealth of health too. That's when it will be released. As you can look, there's many different hands coming out here. There's many different hands coming out here. You could be actually putting in to different sources, sowing into different sources. And I feel like when all of these things align and that last bit of energy is exerted, not only just exerted, but also directed. Because power means nothing if it's just wild power, but there is a directing of energy that makes it powerful, that makes it useful. And so the Six of Wands talks about the reciprocity, coming in, reciprocity coming in for everything that you've put out, and the need to step into the energy also of non-attachment, just believing that it's going to happen, release. This could be this could be also calling you to sow into things without feeling that you need to get something back, right? Whatever that thing is that Spirit has called you to a higher commitment, it could be that. Maybe it's been difficult to do that because you don't necessarily see immediate results. But this feels like Spirit partly calling you to detach from the results, from the outcome, right? So that you can reach a higher level of commitment. And these personal rewards that'll come in from unexpected sources. So this is about tapping in. Absolutely. So yeah, for someone, this could be about connecting. Connect is the word. And that could be what Spirit is saying is going to help carry you through. Connect. That's where your resources are coming from. Your knowledge, power, right? Receiving. This energy of karma that's being stirred up on your behalf. It's all about connection. Ooh, this is good. I like this. Through that connection, I also feel like you will receive the information needed for the next step. The star was all about guidance, and the high priestess too, right? All about connection. This is about connection. Yeah. And so this stretching, Spirit is saying stretch. Come on, you didn't come all this way to quit. or to allow things to just dwindle out like they never existed, like you never had this passion to carry things forward to a different circumstance or a different place. Connect. And I really do feel like for someone, this is about a higher level of commitment when it comes to your personal spiritual life. You could be being called to kick up your meditation or your prayer, right? That's going to be the very thing that unlocks the door to the next level. So this last, little stretch is all about you accepting the invitation for a higher level of commitment. And it's almost like you will see things just happening all of a sudden when you do that. Yes. A higher level of commitment. Yeah. I like this. I like it. That's the encouragement for the day. I guess the question is, what have you been called to do? Has Spirit been calling you to actually give a little more of your time, a little more of your effort, a little more of your trust, even though things may not be looking like you intended them to look at this point? Like, you're being asked for many of us to enter into a deeper level of connection. Are you willing to give a little more? Are you willing to be a little uncomfortable? To move to the next level. This is about reaching. You're well able to do this, right? You've put in all this work, all this way. And I feel like we can do this. Yeah, we're going to reach this finish line. We're going to do this, okay? That's the encouragement for the day. Let me know if there is anything that I can do, like if there's encouragement that I can give, any specific information that I can tap into on your behalf, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure reading for you all year long. I'm excited about 2025. And so like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. Hit the bell if you feel led to do so. I am going to see you all next time. Thank you for stopping by to Blood Moon Oracle. Going to post another video up here. Take a look at that video. You may like that one as well. Until next time, my friends, stretch.